Hi, Ann Morphew here. I'd like to give you a navigational tour of COMM 2025. Specifically, I'm making this video for my asynchronous class because they need to know how to get around and I'm not there to hold their hands unless they pop in to see me. This is my master shell from which I copy all of my courses into their section, and then I make adaptation. You'll see that I'm viewing this as a fake student, so it won't have the extra things my screen has. If you ever want to get to your home page, you'll see your section here, and it'll be on every page you navigate. So if you click that again, it just brings you back to your home page. We have nav bars that aren't exactly the same as some of your other classes. Some of your other classes may use course materials and they have content and links in there. We will take these out. You have content, most of your main things for where things are and what you'll need to know how to do. Links, in this case, links is optional. There are so many categories in communication that you may find of interest. Or perhaps you say something like, oh, I need to really work on my delivery. There's a category for delivery, and you can explore those categories. I believe it talks about it more in our Momentum Hacks video for Computer Lab Day. Communication is important because that's where you can see all of your classmates and you can email them from there. You can go to discussion boards. In my asynchronous class, we not only have the regular 5 discussion boards, but we have our speeches in discussion boards. And you'll be posting and replying to a minimum of 2 or all of your base group members, and you can reply to others if you view their stuff. Email in Momentum is important because all current students should communicate with me via Momentum email. And then there's sections for your groups. And in asynchronous classes, we use base groups to reduce your workload and help you grow and learn and give feedback to each other and encouragement. Assessments is important because we have Dropbox there, and any kind of written assignment will be going into Dropbox. You need to use Word docs for my class. You can also take, there's a few of them like exit cards that or the course evaluation where you can screenshot and put images in there, and that's fine. Just read the directions for each of the assignments. You can check your grades. Grades are hugely important to check for me because for you to check for my feedback, because I do write books of feedback. I tend to write a lot of comments that could be very helpful to you or ask questions of you. So to check grades, navigate assessment, grades, and open all the comment boxes. We have 2 quizzes and 1 optional bonus quiz that's available. So you'll find that under assessments. And we have a survey that you'll be taking called Week 1 Survey. By the way, did you know that instructors can see the class progress for each individual and know how many times you signed in, how much of content have you covered, how many minutes you spent? Ooh, big deal. So let's look at the home page first, and then we'll go to content. The home page has so much information on this first news entry and on the sidebars there. Please take a moment to scan it. In news, I say, here are the things that are going to help you, your syllabus, your Google Calendar, your course outline, which has all of your weekly work explained and with internal links, and something called office hours. All of your teachers are to have office hours, and that doesn't mean, like some students think, they're in their office working and I shouldn't bother them. Indeed, smart college students use this interactive time. That's when we're available for you. In week 1, I'll ask my asynchronous students to do the when to link survey to give me your preferred times. And when the most people say, I'm available at this time, we will go ahead and set regular office hours when I'll be in Zoom waiting on you to pop in and say hello. I'll listen, you can ask me questions, and I'll give you plain old English. Do the when to meet in week 1, like as soon as possible. Your regular office hours also can be found from your instructors. They all have something called a faculty locator. Finally, about office hours, if you can't meet in the time we establish, just email me in Momentum and we'll find a good time where we can pop into Zoom. I have a Google Calendar for each section of my course so that you're in W01 section. And if you open that in a new tab, you will be able to see all of the due dates. If an instructor puts a video in news, take the time to watch it. It's often quite helpful. I see this a time limit here. I tend to put that with all of the videos that I include so you can evaluate whether you have time to look at something. The next thing in today's news, the first week's news, is what do you do if there's trouble with links? Google Chrome tends to be where all of the links and the YouTube videos will play. I prefer Firefox or Bing, but I'll go on, or even DuckDuckGo, which is more private. But if something won't work, I hit Chrome. You can learn to open links in a new tab so that that's a creation of a solution and it doesn't keep jerking you off of this page and then you have to go tab back over. So this is a little movie about that. If things aren't still working, please communicate. You can send me an email in Momentum, not the Raider.Outlook email, right? So if your phone's sending something from your Gmail, don't do it. We're going into Momentum to communicate with the instructor. And finally, I want to point out that if you click on content, you'll be able to type search. Type for a search. So up right here, content will open a module box and it will give you a search box. And if you spell things right, it will take you to the category you're looking for. That also opens modules. In this course, it may be different from your other courses where you just do one module and then you complete it and you're done and you go to the second module. Ours is a little more like authentic navigation online, multiple ways to get to places, and you just need to find the thing that works for you so you know what's going on. The syllabus will explain that and all of our expectations. The course outline is where you will find out where everything is and what you're doing each week. And then I have 2 charts. This chart will explain speeches and other tasks. This HTML document, this module will open for when we do our researched speech. Expository is rooted in the phrase to expose. So that means you're going to research some sources to be able to fill out an outline plan. And that has all the little tips and videos and downloads you can use to understand what we need, a framework for really organizing your appealing message with all its varied support for your audience so you can reach your specific speaking purpose. There is a module on bonus points because I give them out like Mardi Gras beads, or if you're from Florida, like Gasparilla beads. And we have a frequently asked questions. You never have to hit additional resources because there's a ton of stuff in there. Again, there's so many fields in communication, but what you're going to need are particularly know the syllabus, follow the course outline. Here's more different ways to understand the tasks and the expository speeches. Let me go back to our main page. Remember, that'll be your section. You'll click on it to take us back to the main page, and we'll look at the surrounding bars. Whenever you get an email, whenever you get a discussion board post or reply that you want to do, these will be lit in blue and numbered, and you can click on that and it'll take you to whatever feedback with the grades, anything like that. It'll take you to those areas. Again, this will always be there, the calendar you can check. I'd open it in a new tab. But I want to point out that we have 3 live widgets. Ask a Librarian is literally that. During office hours, or even outside of office hours, you can click Ask a Librarian. That is this vertical blue bar, and the librarians will respond as soon as office hours come back up. So if they're on, they will chat with you immediately. I had one student who had a speech he wanted to do on how to make a Texas sheet cake. All he had was his grandmother's recipe. That's one source. And he wanted to figure out some other sources. So he chatted with the librarian with me while we were Zooming, and she got into it and she went down a rabbit hole and sent him other links. So use these people. They love to help you. Smart students use the Learning Center tutors. In college, it is not the people who are so desperately in need of help or slow that use that Learning Center. Learning Center and tutors are there for smart people who want to make sure they get a second set of editing eyes. Maybe they have a momentary challenge. They'll hold your hand and walk you through things, or they'll review your work and give you some feedback. You can make a tutoring appointment or have a chat with them during office hours using this link. What if they're not open? Roan State pays for BrainFuse. It's a 24/7 online tutoring system, so use it. Underneath Morfuse instructor info and my philosophy there, I give you our Zoom address. This is the Zoom address that you can use to pop into office hours. I'll have that open weekly. And then you never have to look at this. But sometimes people aren't sure what to do. And this is not intuitive. It won't take you right down if you search a word, but this is the navigation pathways explaining everything in content, everything in links, everything. And it just takes you through and will blah, 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 give you so many details. Another thing on all of your momentums are something called Roan State or RSCC quick links. You can get right back to the home page. You can go to the libraries, the testing center, career services, learning center, but we've got it up there. Get some sexual harassment training. I don't know if they require that of students, but perhaps. But this is the one I really want to point out. Guys, when you do academic writing, it's often in MLA, Modern Language Association format, or APA, the American Psychological Association. And the dictionary they prefer is Merriam-Webster's. That is the required dictionary for all academic writing papers. Now, your instructors can tell you different. If they want dictionary.com, that's so be it. But I wish they'd write the word dictionary right here so students would know. Merriam-Webster's is something that you can use for your other academic papers. For our class, dictionary.com works for me. I probably that you can find all of your classes here and you can pin them. I think I covered that in Momentum Hacks. You'll have little orange dots if you've got a discussion board to look at, or an email to look at, or if you've got some new content. And you can also go back to that home screen with all of your classes by going to that little house. I hope that helps.